Welcome back, new SEC podcast. We're talking about Notre Dame versus Arkansas. Notre Dame traveling to play Arkansas, noon, ABC. The line for this game is Notre Dame 4.5 and the over-under 64.5. What are we thinking here in this game? A lot on the line for Arkansas, a lot on the line for Notre Dame, looking for their second win to get to 500. What are we thinking?
Both teams are looking at like their record at this point, and both do need a win desperately. Like Notre Dame coming off of an 0-2 start, getting the win at Purdue. Now here in a game with Arkansas. Now 64.5 over under in this game is for good reason. Six out of 7 of the games these teams have played have hit the over. Partially because the offenses are really good, but also partially because the defenses have just been super porous. So in a game like this, they're both teams that know that their defense needs to dial in. And I'm sure that they've spent the entire week leading up to this game talking about that.
Yeah, the defensive play on both sides for these two teams has been really porous this season. You saw it for Notre Dame against A&M. Most people probably didn't watch the Notre Dame-Purdue game, I would imagine, unless you're a Notre Dame fan or you watch NBC, of course. But for Arkansas, absolutely gassed, unfortunately, against Memphis this past week, and with Sutton Smith, I think, leading the overall rushing yards in that game for Memphis against Arkansas. So there needs to be some improvement. I'm pretty sure Arkansas is sitting at last in the conference for rushing yards given up. And this is going to be a tough game, right? Jeremiah Love last week had 153 rushing yards for Notre Dame. He's going to face a team that averages giving up 150 yards running a game. So we'll see.
Yeah, and we can start with the Arkansas defense talking about that, because it going into the game, we're like, all right, Brendan Lewis, he can run. Memphis quarterback, like he can let loose. And he did. And what happened when I was watching the game, Arkansas got behind often to blow up the play, tackle for loss. I mean, even with Sutton Smith, like they made a lot of plays where they could have killed it for a loss or for a sack, and they let it go through. 9 missed tackles on the game. They couldn't finish the play, but I still see some positivity like on the horizon for this team because they were there to make the stop. Yep. It felt, I don't want to say it felt lazy, but it felt like it was hot. Some players were just like not following through on the play. They were getting through and then just, rambling around behind the line. In a game like this, you can't do that because you might meet Jeremiah Love behind the line. You might meet Jadarian Price behind the line, but you have to finish the play because those guys can rumble yards after contact. So I do see some positives to Arkansas's run defense and opportunity, but in that game, it was just not finishing plays like they were supposed to.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I did see some positives in that game. You look at Steven Dix, you look at Xavier Sorey. Both these guys are top 5 in the SEC right now in tackles. They were making plays in that game. On the other side, we did a segment at one point talking about the potential best running back room in the nation. We mentioned Notre Dame, and so you got a really tough team coming in here with those two guys you mentioned, with Jadarian Prince and with Jeremiah Love. So the good news is, like you mentioned, Arkansas had players there. Just need to see it kind of earlier and often.
Yeah, because you could almost plot Notre Dame's scoring this season to the running back yards. Like, when they played Miami locked it up pretty well. They only scored 24. Like Miami did a really, really good job of stopping the running game. A&M, decent, but lapses in the run game. They scored 40. Purdue lets them run free. I mean, Jeremiah Love had, a Heisman type day out there. They score 56. Like everything in this Notre Dame team is based around the run offensively. So Arkansas game plan, they know that. Come into this game, do everything you can to stop the run.
Absolutely. And I think, offensively, Arkansas really doesn't give you too much to worry about. And I think the over-under is reflected in that in 64.5. I mean, Taylon Green had a relatively good day. I think he had 1 or 2 turnovers in the last game, but he still played good football. He made some, like, if you actually watch the game, like some of these throws he was making in traffic were incredible. So I don't see how he would have a challenge offensively in this game. Like he said, it's going to come down to the defense.
Yeah, I mean, he put some passes in the last game in spots that should have been caught. Really was slinging the ball all over the place. Like right now at this point in the season, if Arkansas was playing better, he would be in the Heisman conversations up with whoever, up with Mateer, up with whoever. I mean, if Arkansas was playing better football, and right now, I mean, he's 8th in most passing yards in college football, 2nd in the SEC. He's got the most rushing yards from a quarterback No fumbles yet. He had 4 at this point last year. He's drastically improving from last season, and he was pretty good last season too. Like the Arkansas offense runs through him, runs through his eyes.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame's defense, I think, will have a hard time with it, right? I don't think either defense is liking what they're seeing on the opposite side.
Right. And it might be like a stretch of a comparison, but it feels like a Jaden Daniels ascend level when he came from Arizona State, then had that first year at LSU. That second year he wins the Heisman. You know, LSU that year didn't have a defense. Arkansas so far this year has not shown a super impressive defense, but like you mentioned, Taylor Green has been kind of the commander of this offense, and I didn't expect it with all of the changes at the receiver position, 3 transfers coming in, but they're doing their part. You know, final thoughts or keys for this game for Notre Dame with Carr at quarterback and for Arkansas.
Yeah, both of these teams aren't running a lot of offensive plays. They're scoring fast. The game's going to continue to probably go that way for the offenses. The defenses just have to keep up and do what they can to keep plays in front of them. You know, Arkansas defensively finished the play like I was saying earlier. Notre Dame defensively, a key for this game. You got to force Taylor Green to potentially make the wrong read. Right now, he's scrambling well. He's doing well in the design runs and read options. Force the wrong look, catch him behind the line. So, you know, stopping the run, whether it's Notre Dame stopping it from the, you know, Arkansas stopping it from the Notre Dame running backs, or Notre Dame stopping it from Taylor Green, you know, potentially Mike Washington as well. I think stopping the run in this one, the issue here right now is Sam Pittman, his record in 1-score games.
Yeah.
We've seen it way too often where they find themselves in a close game that they either come from behind in or typically are coming up, some team coming up on them, and they lose a 1-score game. Vegas is projecting a 1-score game here. Doesn't paint a good picture for Arkansas with how the current regime has been handling those.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity, of course, for Arkansas to show that they can play well through these 1-score games. It's not all on the players on the field and the team this year. And you're playing against a really good coach, a national championship appearance coach. 1 and 2 is a spot they don't normally find themselves in, and for all intents and purposes, both teams they lost to are ranked. Both teams are top 11, right? So this Arkansas team has shown glimpses of being a top 15 team. I would say they're a top 15 offense. The defense needs a little bit of improvement, but the defense has not necessarily done enough to where they are causing them to fully lose games because the offense is continuing to show up and find themselves in spots to win the games for the most part. So keys for me, just even a slight improvement defensively can change the dynamic of this game, and being able to run the football a little bit more and control the pace of the game could help Arkansas. Notre Dame's just got a lot of things going their way defensively, offensively, like in what Carr brings and how they kind of control the time of possession. So I ultimately think Notre Dame takes this game. I'm going to say 31-23. What's your final prediction?
I have Notre Dame as well by 4. I got Arkansas covering. I see a 1-score game here. You know, I with Arkansas right now, I think that they are offensively going to be able to do what they need to do with this Notre Dame defense to put up good points. You know, whether it's the zone that Notre Dame has been struggling to play or the man that I think Arkansas will match up well with. I just see Notre Dame scoring too much in this one, winning by 4. We've seen the line move in this game a little bit from 6.5 to 4.5. So we'll see what happens by game time. But unfortunately, you know, for Arkansas, I do see another 1-score loss.
Yeah, and then a 1-score loss, you know, before the season started, would have felt pretty good in Notre Dame. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily matter that much now. They're 1 and 2, and Arkansas has their record. But this is supposed to be a good Notre Dame team, so we'll see how it plays out on Saturday. Drop your predictions below. Let us know what you think. Arkansas fans, what do you want to see from this team? Notre Dame fans that are listening, you know, what do you want to see in this game, and what would be a statement win? And as always, I'm Randall Jr. We got Hunter Ziesman. And until next time.